A very good morning to all our Sports Today family members, or rather, I would say a very somber morning when you look at what transpired yesterday. It was meant to be a moment of joy, but 11 deaths. We don't know the final death count yet. It's 11 deaths in the Bengaluru Stampede that happened in the aftermath of RCB's victory parade that happened. Now, there are a lot of things that are going on, and you will still not get the entire picture. Horror stories have emerged from what was the arrangement in Bengaluru at that point in time. Now, Virat Kohli, after it went late into the night, but somewhere late in the night, when RCB released the official statement, he tweeted out and he also posted on his Instagram stating he's absolutely devastated and he is lost for words. He reacted about 6-7 hours after the incident had happened. Anil Kumble is also very, very sad as to what had happened. So is Sachin Tendulkar. Most people involved in that are still numb with shock. Let us make one thing very clear here. The tragedy that unfolded in Bengaluru, it was not ideal. Now, there is one major problem as to what happened. There is a lot of conflicting reports and there is a lot of theories floating around. Politicians and several other stakeholders hijacked the moment, used this as a photo op opportunity and ensured that everything went haywire. The arrival of the politicians, the arrival of everybody, because RCB had won it and Kannada pride had to be at stake, they all came. Over 1-2 lakh people in a 1 kilometer area, 5,000 policemen. The plan itself was not communicated. This is how it just went about. The plan was never communicated. It was a last moment thing. Initially, the open bus parade was cancelled, but RCB insisted on doing a small one from Vidhanasauda to Chinnaswamy. Now, whatever has happened, it did not happen during the parade. Let us make one thing very clear here. It did not happen during the parade. It happened when there was a crowd swell at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Now, if you want to understand how that area is, it's quite narrow. Let's make one thing clear here. To entry into the Chinnaswamy Stadium, the streets by which you come into, it's quite narrow. Now the problem is, when you have such a massive crowd swell, the capacity for the Chinnaswamy Stadium is 30,000. 30 to 35,000, at max 40,000. When you have 5x or 6x that number, how do you cope up? For so many people, only 5,000 policemen. Crowd management in India is always an issue. And because there was the slab that was holding them, that collapsed at gate number 7 at Chinnaswamy Stadium. That was the main reason why this happened. So, crowd management has always been an issue with India. It will always be an issue with India. Because people themselves, because they want their photo op moments, they want their viral moments, they want their meme moments, they will ensure that there is a stampede-like situation. It's happened in the past also. However, there is criticism leveled at the RCB management. Even Arun Dhumal and the BCCI at this point, they are wondering, it could have been managed better, but they did not even know who was organizing the event. That is the BCCI statement at this point in time. They themselves don't know who was organizing the event. Technically, when you look at it, when the IPL is there, RCB own the stadium. So RCB are the prime stakeholders in any of these kind of events. They are a majority stake in it. KSCA and the BCCI have a very minority, so they'll only have to agree to it. But politicians came in. You saw, in addition to the RCB flags, you also saw the Kannada flags, the Karnataka flags waving. Will it be a big problem? This had to be a problem. Because it represents a particular entity, they just went haywire. Politicians went haywire. People went haywire. And that is why, and we saw very, very strange dystopia also. You saw dystopia where people had died, 11 people had died. But yet, whenever our correspondent was doing the ground report, people were still coming in and shouting RCB, 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 and they're celebrating. When you have such a big tragedy, but the problem is, gate number 7 tragedy happened there, all the other gates are miles apart. They will not know. How would they know? When they come home, when they see the news, that time they will realize that something's gone wrong. RCB were at the stadium at that time and there were 50,000 people packed and they were all chanting RCB, RCB, RCB. But no one knew what happened outside. A simple phone call or a simple process of coordination could have ensured that the embarrassment was there. But then RCB in their statement amended it. RCB in their statement stated we amended the program. And instead of 2 hours, we kept it to 20 minutes. Yet all the functions happened for some time. Now, I don't know how we can say this. We are in a dystopian country. Let's make one thing very clear here. We are in a dystopian country. And because of that, these incidents will happen. Who do you have to blame? I don't know. Who you should blame? I don't know. Really, that is the dystopian nature of this country. So that is why, even when you look at it, a simple phone call or some kind of communication might not have been possible because it was all jammed. The networks were jammed in that area. It led to a recipe for disaster. And so, this event is really, really tragic. And one doesn't know how you will recover from this. And whether from this point in time, celebrations like this are really warranted. Because even the T20 World Cup stadium, when you looked at it, there was a stampede-like situation. By God's grace, by a miracle, no one died. There were injuries, but no one died. Crowd management, when you have crowd swells, India is not equipped for it. Stakeholders themselves do not have the mentality to cope with it. Children died, women died. But people in this country have to now seriously consider the show must go on. The show must go on. This philosophy has to be struck out. If you have to develop as a nation mentally, because as a nation, when you have to look at it, you're way behind. The crowd swell and the celebrations amidst the tragedy yesterday, whatever be it, communications gap, whatever gap, you didn't know, it's the fault of everybody involved. The stakeholders are all involved in this. And before I come to the comments, I'll just give you a quick summary of what all has happened in the sporting world. Novak Djokovic has reached the semi-final where he is going to face Janik in the French Open. Now, this is his best chance to ensure that he gets to 25. Otherwise, it looks like he'll be stuck on 24. PV Sindhu is in action today along with Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy in the Indonesia Open to 1000. On the other hand, Gukesh is going to be in action today and so will Arjun. Koneru Hampi is in the lead in the Norway Chess. And that is why you're now reaching the last 2 days of it. You're also going to see Shubman Gill's PC. The pre-departure PC, when you look at it, it's going to happen today. The pre-departure PC at 7:30 p.m. in Mumbai. Shubman Gill will be there. What are the statements that he will make? We will all be doing that. There'll be an exclusive live that we'll be doing at this point. When that happens, 7:30 p.m. IST, it's going to be Shubman Gill who's going to address the pre-departure PC for England. Amidst all of this, we have to also remember there is a tour of England that will start in 15 days' time. And because of that, you all have to now ensure what Shubman Gill speaks. So 7:30 p.m. Shubman Gill PC, we will be there live as and when it happens. So, okay, Ravish Das is saying, we're very insensitive from RCB. People are dying and they're celebrating, and he follows up, where the players aware that people are dying during the celebration. No, they weren't aware. None inside the stadium who saw the trophy celebration were aware. Instead of a 2-hour program, later on when they came to know, they amended it to a 20-minute program. That was the only thing that they could do. Neelakandan saying, phone wasn't working, it seemed, could have been jammer enabled. That's what I said, because the network area was jammed. There are 1 lakh phones in that vicinity, 1 lakh to 2 lakh to 3 lakh phones, and you just have one tower in that vicinity. It could get jammed. So that's why it could have happened. So that's why communication couldn't have happened. I was planning to go, but decided not to go, Pawan Suresh is saying. Good point. King D, human life has no value in this country. There never was. I was planning to go, but Pawan Suresh, lucky escape for you. But if you were in the right gate, perhaps you would have not had this problem. Mitrang Shukla is saying, it's a collective failure. RCB management, government, police, all are accountable. Can't blame or on a single entity. Why can't you include the fans also? Devotees, fans, whenever such an opportunity happens, they don't paint themselves in a good picture. Mitrang Shukla. Fans, I am asking them the most toughest thing to do. Be responsible. I'm asking fans to be responsible, be disciplined. Women and children died. If this can't get them to be responsible, then I'm sorry. My justification and rant when I have for Indian fans is justified. People die, and yet you celebrate. Amidst the vicinity, amidst all of that, there are horror stories, but no one will remember those horror stories. People will remember, oh yes, RCB lifted the trophy, and people were chanting RCB, RCB, RCB. That is the state of this nation, and the state, let me tell you. That's why every other team wanted PBKs to win because of the Rishabh. No, this is a very unfair statement. You could not have planned a stampede. You could not have anticipated a stampede would occur. Yes, you would have had a crowd swell. But you have to criticize the government and the police for ensuring, oh, we did not know that such a crowd swell will happen. Which la-la land are they living in? What entity says that we were not prepared for such a crowd swell? If you are watching cricket, they had initially declined because of the celebrations that happened on the day of the final. But on Wednesday, it bit them back. It bit them back quite hard. Cricket with Mr. Cocktail. At the end of the day, people shouldn't lose their lives for entertainment. This is truly heartbreaking, and it shows civic sense is at 0%. Indeed. Fans also need to be blamed. Why they took children for this kind of open celebration? Neelakandan, it's like a fan. Anybody will want a photo op next to the RCB bus. Anybody will want a photo op next to, if you look at it, Virat Kohli. Everybody of the players. Who wouldn't want that? So children will be there. And when children go, women go, the collateral is higher. That's how it is. I'm very sorry about it. But how come government arranged such arrangements quickly? Sorry. You don't get network in 3 lakhs route, tower can't handle PSN saying. Yes, true. But how come government arranged such arrangements so quickly? It took them a day. That's the way it's looked at. Why people are blaming Kohli for that? He can't be blamed. I think they're blaming him for giving such a late update. Sarat Chandra, it's a joke that inside stadium people doesn't know about it. To put Insta stories, you have time, but you don't know Stampede. Senseless and don't defend RCB management, but the biggest criminal is fans. Absolutely. Please, I'm not defending anybody here. But there will be a section who will defend it. That's what I'm pointing out. Was time management the issue? Can't be held 2-3 days later with better planning? No. You couldn't have. Any kind of planning would not have worked at this point. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.